there's 4 pages here. It might take about, I don't know, 20 minutes to read it. And I believe it was Derek Gonzalez that came up with this information. I'm not exactly sure. I found it on TikTok, and actually one of my followers and friends, longtime friends, uh, No More Segregation, he already knew about this video, this information. Anyhow, I've been searching for these words for a long time, trying to figure out, how do I write this? How do I write this? I know all this information. I know that the state is a fiction. I know that you have the right to face your accuser, and etc. Right? And when the state is the plaintiff, you have a fiction. It's a fraud on the court to have a fictional plaintiff, right? Yeah, right.
Hello, Moto.
I don't know who the hell that is. Anyways. What up, Currency Brutus? What happened to your No More Segregation channel? Did you get rid of that? Anyways, I digress. It's important for everyone to recognize and realize and understand and comprehend and know that when you're drug into one of these colorable courts and there's a fiction called the state as a plaintiff, there's something like seriously wrong here. Seriously wrong here. The courts were set up for real people that have real issues. That they can't settle it outside of court, so one of them's like, screw it, I'm going to sue you then. I'll see you in court, asshole. Okay? And then the self-proclaimed government, the terrorists, the narcissistic sociopaths who think that they should make a profit off of you, saw money. They're like, oh, well, we could just pretend that there's a state as the plaintiff and they won't know any better. And of course, for a long time, we didn't. Well, now we know. And so I'm going to read this to you. This is what Derek Gonzalez, I believe he came up with this. And it covers all of these things. And I love how he includes, to rub it in their little dirty fucking faces, saying someone is filing false claims on behalf of their imaginary friend. It's awesome. If you want a copy of this, you're going to have to write it out yourself. If you want to use it, it's highly recommended that you write it out with your hand and then make copies of it and file it into whatever case you got going. Or you could read it out in open court. But don't let them move forward. Don't ever freaking participate. You know what I mean? The whole thing I've ever learned from anyone is never argue the merits. They say you drove without a license. You don't argue that. I have the right to travel. Guilty. Go to jail. Pay the fine. They don't give a fuck about that. The very foundation of the court is jurisdiction. They have to have 3 forms of jurisdiction. They have to have geographic jurisdiction, personal, and subject matter, right? In order to have any of these, they have to have that personal jurisdiction first. But first and foremost, they gotta have a real party making a claim. You see, the criminal side of it is called a criminal complaint. They're complaining about you. They're whining. Oh, he violated our statutes. He owes us money. Well, it's a complaint. Why do you think your complaints with the police officers go fucking nowhere? Because you're just complaining. The courts are not for complaints. The courts are for claims. Where a man makes a claim based upon an action done against him or his property or whatever. So I love this document. I'm just going to read it verbatim. No more sidetracking. And if you want to write it out, this will go up and you can hit pause, write it out, play, and so on. It's very important that you write it by hand. Hand. Not a computer, type it up, you know what I mean? Because that's garbage. But the words are still there, maybe it still work. Anyways. I, comma, or what is that thing? I forget what that period with the comma on it. Anyways. I, a man, require the state of, your state, in parentheses, after this you put plaintiff, to show up in court, comma, take the stand, comma, present me with a photo ID. And in those, I think they're called parentheses, e.g. a driver's license with his or her name, state of, what your state, clearly printed on it, comma, with a current street address, comma, and a clear photo of his or her face to enter into the record so I will know who to hold personally liable should the claims against me turn out to be false, comma, and or inaccurate, period. End of parentheses. Semicolon, thank you, yes. That's what's supposed to be there, not commas. Anyways, and verify his or her, his/her claim against me, so I may cross-examine my accuser. And again, in parentheses, Amendment 6. That's just Amendment V1, VI, dash. The accuser surely witnessed the supposed crime, and the plaintiff must appear, end of parenthesis, and compensate him for any harm, comma, injury, or loss I may have caused. Okay, did you follow? If this man or I love this. Sorry. If this man/woman that goes by the name state of cannot show up to verify his or her claim, his, her, the slash, I require this matter immediately discharged, as the court will have no jurisdiction to even hear the case because there is apparently no controversy before the court. Next paragraph. It is my belief that there is no man/woman named state of blank who can verify this claim by pointing me out across the room and uttering with his or her voice, I've done wrong or caused him or her personal harm, comma, injury, comma, or loss, comma, therefore pressing it upon the record in open court. Semicolon. As I have never heard of this man/woman, and do not believe we have ever crossed paths, to be quite honest. I fucking love it. Derek Gonzalez, he's freaking smart, man. If he wrote this is genius. I wouldn't be surprised. Or he got it from somewhere. Anyways, continuing on. It is also my belief that someone is filing frivolous complaints, in parentheses, false claims, end parentheses, on behalf of their imaginary friend, known as the state of blank, in an attempt to unjustly enrich themselves and the state of whatever, parentheses, whoever those individuals may be, end parentheses, in an attempt to deprive me of my rights, comma, liberty, comma, and property without due process of law and / or fair and just compensation. Now, those of you who know the law who read this, read the constitutions and the constitutional laws, you know exactly what this is talking about here. It's pretty cool. Continuing on, next paragraph. If this matter is not immediately discharged prior to the first hearing, comma, I will require leave of court so I may bring forth an actual, proper, and verifiable claim before the court to address the trespass against me in the proper venue, dash, a court of record, parentheses, start. Trespasses being the two dot things, fucker. I don't remember what those are called either. Okay, trespasses being filing false claims, barratry, extortion, malicious prosecution, unjust enrichment, fraud, theft, robbery, kidnapping, etc. End parentheses. In which I will be requiring compensation for the trespasses, comma, as well as wasting my valuable time, comma, money, comma, and resources having to deal with this complaint. No living man can take the stand and verify, comma, as I do not have time to answer complaints without compensation at this time. Remember, complaints. It's called a criminal complaint. I'm just whining to the court. Okay? They're just whining. The prosecutor is whining. I get a complaint. Page 3. Next paragraph. Unless there is a verified claim before the court, parentheses, not a certified complaint, end parentheses, I will require compensation and provide a bill to whoever is responsible for me having to take time to listen to complaints. Period. I charge $25,752.83 USD, Federal Reserve notes, and or gold and silver coin, in parentheses, to show up and listen to complaints, and an additional $1,047.60 per minute I am standing there. Semicolon. Balance due within 30 days of the hearing. Not the hearing. It's hearing. Period. Failure to discharge this complaint is agreeance to these terms and conditions. Period. You have disrupted my life, having to deal with this complaint you have filed on behalf of your imaginary friend. I love it. Come on. And I simply want to get on with my life. Period. However, however. It just continues. I am willing to forgive this trespass should you decide to act in honor and discharge this matter, comma, immediately, period. In the unforeseen event I have been unlawfully incarcerated due to the criminal complaint or warrant issued due to this criminal complaint, parentheses, false claim, comma, I will also be requiring compensation of $1,500, in parentheses, you write the number, $1,500, per minute for every minute I have been or am incarcerated from the very commencement of the crime till I be released. And last page is very short. If there is an actual verifiable claim before the court, comma, I will be happy to show up and address the claim free of charge, in parentheses, of any proper and verifiable claim against me and compensate any man I have caused harm, injury, or loss. Your name, your signature, and a fat bird. Okay? Now, I'm just like itching. I'm like dying the whole time I'm going through this because I'm like, dude, that covers this. That covers that. Like, The whole thing's a complaint. Every time you go in there, it's a complaint. Somebody's complaining. Somebody's whining. They're not making a claim. There's no claim in the court. The fiction, right? And then we also know the Mark Stevens, the No State Project, and how if you guys have followed me for all these years, you know that I broke that down and simplified it to the point where you just ask a few questions in court and you could prove that you're not even in the plaintiff and the laws of the plaintiff don't apply. That's all covered in here without saying it. You know, you follow. What it's really pointing into is the fact that the plaintiff is a fiction at all.
Well, you're in the state of your mama, and the state of your mama's laws apply to you because you're in the state of your mama.
You can't be in the plaintiff absent being in the plaintiff. You know what I mean? And even then, the laws of the plaintiff don't apply just because you're in intercourse. Yeah. How about factually speaking? Yeah, I've seen Derek Gonzalez's information. He's very smart. He's on top of it, but he gets to going on too much. This shit needs to be simplified. It does not need to be long, drawn out, complicated shit. This here is simplified. I freaking love it. It covers every aspect of it and even rubs it in their dirty, rotten, scoundrel little faces, those weasels. They're always sitting at the other bench, whether it's a male or a female. I've seen some pretty sexy prosecutors. I don't know. Damn, hey baby girl, yeah, I could be in the plaintiff tonight. But you know what I mean? Like, dude. And if you don't add a bunch of freaking shit, don't add statutes to it, don't add anything to this. This covers everything. Though you might feel you have to explain yourself, you have to elaborate, you're just overcomplicating it. The truth is not complicated. It's really simple. Really simple. The plaintiff is a fiction. Period. Obvious I'm not physically located in the plaintiff. Period. It's your imaginary fucking friend. Period. What do you got? Who's making a claim here?
Well, there's no claim, there's just a criminal complaint.
Well, criminal complaints are for government. The prosecutor can only sue using a criminal complaint against an employee of the government. Government policy is for government agents. And even that's subject to debate. Because I would say that the whole entire government is a complete and utter fiction. They're just organized criminals pretending to be something that they're not. Running around, stealing your property, and making criminal complaints in order to justify that theft. They're stealing your body. They're human trafficking and you know what I mean. They're stealing your children. And actively, like, I guess there's an ice cream truck going around in the middle of the night. Why would they do it in the middle of the night? That doesn't make any sense. Do kids jump out their bedroom window to go to an ice cream truck in the middle of the night? Sneak away from their parents? I don't know. Right. Artificial person. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The problem is that I see is that people are overcomplicating it.
Well, it's got to be so complicated. The statutes and the codes and all this thing, it's all complicated, so it's got to be complicated to be free.
No, it really isn't complicated to be free. It's simple to be free.
Well, how are you going to get a job and do all this stuff?
You have a job now, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Well, why would you leave your job if you like your job? You could still be free. It's still a fiction. It's still a fraud on the court to have a fictional plaintiff. It's still a fraud on the court to file a criminal complaint. It's a fraud on the court to violate your due process rights and to face your right to face your accuser. And any of you guys, read the Constitution that supposedly created this fiction called government? Not that the Constitution has any authority, but that is their public relations scam.
That the Constitution is the highest law of the land.
No, it's the highest law of the fucking government. The fictional land. They are organized criminals, period. Point freaking blank. If I go out and I do what they're doing, what does that make me? A criminal. If I take people's cars
For not having a license or a sticker on the plate.
if I take your car, it's called theft. If I do it while you're in it and I'm armed, it's called armed robbery. If I take you and put you in chains and drag you over to a cell and lock you in it, a room, that's kidnapping, human trafficking, terrorism. The list goes on. You could come up with a lot more crimes in the process, especially if you're injured. They chain you up like a dog, like a rabid fucking little animal. On what? A fictional claim. It's not even a claim. On a complaint.
Oh, well, the officer filed a citation, which is a civil complaint. It's a civil complaint.
Who civil complaint? So who's the plaintiff here?
Well, the state is.
And who's making the claim?
The police officer. He's a witness. I mean, well, fuck.
You see, it just doesn't work. It's all bullshit. 100%, top to bottom, motherfucking bullshit. Donald Trump's name, Trump, is evidence that maybe you see through the bullshit, but it's evidence that you've been trumped. We're all waking up. We're starting to realize we're seeing the truth. I woke up back in 2003 or 4. I was only 23 or 4. Well, I woke up before then, but I really started waking up, back then. And it started igniting and growing. And that's when Jeheretic was born. Was around 2005? Fuck, I don't even know. It's been a while. But that's when Jeheretic was born. I think I was 23, 24, 25, somewhere around there. And I studied the system. I got lost in the UCC1 bullshit, all that stuff. I spent almost a year studying the UCC1 movement. I was in direct contact with Druanna Johnston. She's like one of the big gurus. She's probably a fucking CIA plant, just like Mark Stevens. Obviously, he was part of that Zionist plant shit. He started the No State Project. They started a thing, and they were like, "Oh crap, it's getting too big now. Everybody's realizing the state's a fiction." Because point 5 in Mark Stevens' motion is what shows the really fictional nature of the state, as it breaks down that it's impossible to prove beyond a reasonable doubt or by a preponderance of the evidence, which is both criminal and civil, covering both, that you're physically located in the state. The plaintiff. Come on. What a joke, man. Let's just call it what it is. They're organized criminals. Donald Trump's name is Trump because you have all been trumped if you believe in their fucking bullshit system. That's all they're telling you. They put it all out there in the frickin' in your plain sight. Right in plain view. The president before him wasn't a president. He was a puppet. He had brain damage. He wasn't even mentally competent to be president. Now, what was that telling you? Well, it told me that the American people aren't even mentally competent to see what's in front of their faces. And it's an insult. It's like adding insult to injury. Not only that, but that Biden character wasn't even the original Joe Biden that was a fucking politician. This other one, I don't know what the hell that guy is. He looks similar to him, but it's not the same guy. Definitely had brain damage. And he was here for the children and the ice cream. Come on, guys. I listened to that guy talk once on the TV because I had family members all in. They're always following this bullshit. They follow football even and have fantasy teams. Like, come on. Get real. We got other problems here, not football. Football is for you freaking retards, you meatheads. You low vibrational mentality, mindless drones. Go, football! Get the football! Wake the fuck up. Come on. Yeah, he could have been a clone. He could have just been a look-alike. Exactly. Screen Actors Guild. Thank you. He's been, Trump even points that out. He's been saying it. And they're telling you in front of your faces. Everybody just, and then you point it out, like you or I, we point it out, and all of a sudden we're the crazy one. Oh, yeah? Was I crazy when I told you 9/11 was an inside job? Now you know it's an inside job, you dumb son of a bitch. Was I crazy when I told you that vaccine was going to kill you? And hurt people and do things? No, not crazy now. My TV turned blue. Anyways, I digress. I just really wanted to share this this document that you can write by hand. It really cuts to the chase. It tears them to shreds. Just the first. I, a man or a woman, require the state of Uranus to show up in court, take the stand, and present me with a photo ID proving that their name is State of Uranus. With a clearly printed address and everything, so I know who to hold accountable for this bullshizzle. And they need to verify their claim against me. Well, as we already went through, they're not making claims, are they? They're filing complaints. Complaints are not real. Stop arguing against a complaint. There's no claim. The court was originally designed, in my understanding, now I could be wrong, for real men and women who have a real, tangible disagreement or claim. They can't settle it outside of the courtroom. They're arguing, bickering, being bitches, or ignoring each other. And, one of them's like, dude, you know what? I'm just going to sue you. And we'll let the freaking jury of our peers, the people in our neighborhood, in our town, that kind of know us already, probably, sit there and decide who owes who, based upon a preponderance of evidence. And we already know that prosecutor cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt or by a preponderance of evidence that you are located in the plaintiff. Therefore, the plaintiff's laws cannot, will not, and do not apply, let alone the fraud upon the court to present a fiction as a plaintiff. Not even making a claim, making a false claim that they call a complaint. Bitches, come on, y'all. I don't come on here often anymore. I don't talk talk to the world much anymore. I do put things out there via TikTok and other platforms. Just kind of throw things out there. But this is important. This needs to go. Everybody needs to know this. It needs to be common knowledge in order to put these criminals back down in their frickin' ass spot. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of words can I say here? And it doesn't even take violence. It just takes facts. It takes truth. It takes standing on it. That's simple. And no longer participating in their bullshit. Oh, well, I need to have my job. But you don't have to lose your job. You don't have to leave your house in the comfort of your home to exercise freedom and truth. You can have your driver's license. You can have your registration if it makes you feel comfortable. Because that policy enforcement douche canoe believes in his complaints against you for not having a tag or a placard on the back. Contracting with the state, you know, they're forcing you to contract. They're forcing you to pay a tax. That's slavery. That's another problem. But I digress. I would really like to see the people get the fuck up and just be free. We can still have the same system. They still need to be there for certain situations. They are still supposed to be our servants, here to serve and protect the people in instances where they need it. However, it is not their sole duty. They can't be sitting outside your house guarding it, okay? You need to arm yourself with knowledge and other things. You need to arm yourself. Everybody needs to be armed. If everybody was armed when the dust settled, we might have a few less criminals in the world. Politicians stealing children, doing secret things to them. Queens, kings, and other bureaucracies. If I could wink. We might have less of those if the people would stand on their own 2 feet. Let's go. Let's fucking go. What do you think I don't register my truck anymore and I put the freaking "Don't Tread on Me" sticker on it? You doubt me? Let's go look. Here you go, you little trolling ass naysayers. Here we go. Here. Look. I sold my motorcycle that had it on there. Let's go take a look at the back of my truck right now. Let's go. Your heretic's full of shit. He registers his cars. He uses a driver's license. No, I fucking don't. I was going to register this truck, but I don't like them enough to pay taxes. Okay, let's flip it. Ta-da! There you go. Exercising my right to travel in my smoky little diesel. Bitches. Oh, damn. I had to record. Oh, shit. Did I break that? Damn, I might have broke that phone a while ago. There was a cop behind me in Richland, Washington, like a month ago. And I was on my motorcycle that had the note, you know, the same plate. I made that same plate. And that cop followed me for a little bit. And then he didn't follow me. I was like, sweet, thank you. That's exactly what I want. You to leave me the fuck alone. All right. Anyways, I digress. I encourage you to just stand in truth. And don't let these motherfuckers get one over on you anymore. And thanks for stopping by and supporting my channel. Give me a couple thumbs up. That's cool. I appreciate that. But really, you know, I'm not here for that. I'm here to expand our horizons and to destroy that deceptive piece of shit system. The system. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Whenever that is. I'm consistently inconsistent. That's the best thing about me. See ya.